We're about 2 minutes past 5. 5 o'clock, we turned into a pumpkin, but we'll do one more if anybody's got a quick air check. This is KC9VKV.
Yeah.
Station, call again.
And you have a very good sounding station, and actually very good advice.
I didn't get the call sign there, sir, on the very good advice. Come back with the call sign.
Kilowatt 0, no transistors for Kilowatt 0 November Tango if you want to use that.
Roger that, Kilowatt 0. I'm still not sure what the call sign is. Give me phonetics on it one more time. The conditions are kind of in and out. Phonetics one more time on the call sign.
November Tango. November Tango.
Kilowatt 0 November Tango, is that a Roger?
Correct.
Whoa, we hit the jackpot. It's kind of like bingo. How you doing this afternoon?
Well, we survived Thanksgiving. Got the dishes washed and taking a little bit of time for Hammy Radio. And we're not doing the Black Friday thing because the stuff I want really isn't on sale on Black Friday. You have a range and a couch you need to buy for the new house, but another big screen TV, February, the nice ones are going to get cheaper because the new models are out. And so we're just going around here on the Hammy Radio for a little bit. You sounded consistently very strong all afternoon, although it's fading a little bit now, but you got quite a good sounding station.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that. Just curious, what's your location again?
I'm in Joplin, Missouri, which is in the southeast corner of the state. We're 5 miles from Kansas, 5 miles from Oklahoma, and about 20 miles from Arkansas.
Roger that. Well, I was in Kansas last Friday. Matter of fact, I was in Kansas for the first time. I'd never been that far before. That's not. I wonder about that line, but I started to feel like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Roger.
Well, thank God it ain't tornado time. The QTH I'm at, it got blown away in 2011. We was lucky to get out with our lives, let's put it that way, but we rebuilt. It's all good.
Roger, I'm sorry to hear your loss, sir. You know, the most important thing, though, made it through, you know, that's our lives. And as long as we have our lives, we can rebuild. You know, it takes a little while, but, you know, the important thing is our lives, right?
Correct. Family got through. We lived for 3 months at my radio shop across the town. But anyway, it's all good. We go back. It's all fine. I think the antenna might be a little bit better than the last one I had, but the amplifier's not the same. Because I was running a 3.6 5007 for an outfit too. Now I'm down to a lowly pair of 3500s. I'm only taking about 500-600 watts.
Well, it's well-placed wattage. It's definitely, you know, I'm looking at your signal, or your audio, actually, and I'm getting about 7 or 8 dB above my noise level. So that's the only signal I can get to my RF level incoming is, you know, be just below compression, AGC compression. So I have a nice input RF signal level that doesn't pump or hump or anything there. You know, it just it gives me the best signal to noise ratio, but it also limits my ability to say, hey, you're 10 over S9. I just say you're 8 over my noise level. How about that?
That is the best way to report it. And I'm just curious what mic you're running. because it has excellent articulation without too much guessing.
This is a homebrew condenser mic with my invention of called a CRISPR. This is a little device that is an acoustic modifier to the input that tends to increase the articulation, and that's the better somebody can understand what you're saying. That is the name of the game when you're talking to somebody on the radio, is that they can hear it and understand what you're saying, and the better articulation that you can get, the better off you are. So it runs from the homebrew condenser microphone into an ART preamp running a 12AX7 tube for warmth, and then from that through a third octave equalizer into the radio. This is about a 40-year-old radio, or 30-year-old radio. It's a YAESU FT990. It's been pretty well modified in the transmit and the receive areas. That radio normally is a 2.4. We're out to about a 3. And on the receive, we've done quite a bit of modification to ensure it's a lot flatter in the bandpass than stock. Roger?
Oh yeah, I know what an FT990 is, and it was a great radio with possibilities if you're willing to experiment on things like that. But it sounds great. But that might have super articulation, and without getting essy or anything, and it's got that bottom end. Some people can listen. Okay, I can drop bottom end down way low, but that's probably down to 20 or 30, but nobody's even listening down there. That mic sounds quite well, and I use an ART preamp with a couple of mics. Then I luckily landed vacuum tube preamp condenser mic from a recording studio in there, and they had 2 of them, and they used a weird-ass tube where the pins didn't come out the bottom. They were wires, and actually...
Sir, please don't tune up on this frequency. It's active.
Proximity fuses for the things you shoot out from a submarine. Anyway, I happen to have some of the tubes, and he happened to have a couple of mics, so we traded. I fixed his, I keep the spare, and we both win. But the tornado took it all away. But oh well, we'll be there.
Well, the tornado took the physical aspects of it away, but you mentally know exactly what it is and how to do it, so it's just doing it, I mean, you know what to do. It's just doing it. Roger?
Boy, we're lucky now. The band has come back. You're definitely 10 dB over noise now.
Roger. And I liked it when you were, down on the bottom end. I really liked that. How many was that?
Okay, that on the transceiver, that's down to 0. But I'm low cutting at about 30 hertz. And I've got a very low voice, and there's basically no bass piece going on. I just got a deep low voice.
Right, it's beautiful. I would run it just like that myself. The thing is, if you accentuate the bottom end and you keep EQ in the bottom end, eventually you'll run into some mud. So you're well above mud with that EQ on the bottom end. I'd leave it there.
Yeah, but only 1 out of 100 amateur radio operators, their receiver goes even anywhere near that low, so it's really wasted energy. Most of them are listening like that, and they think that's where most of them are coming. Work far away, concentrate your energy there. Otherwise, people that can hear, well, it's okay to them.
Roger, Roger. But yeah, you know, the thing is, it's still within the flat EQ range. It's not like it's you got a real hump there, so it's not like it's you know running kilowatts of power to transmit that hump, because there is no hump. It's just an extenuation of the bottom end. And I would say, you know, sideband, you're not actually, it's not like AM where it's taking actual power, you know. It's you know, it's for receivers that don't receive it, you know, so be it for them. But, you know, I think folks have an obligation to be all that they can be, Roger.
Okay, my EQ is like flat from 80 hertz down. I pull the load actually down, starting at 100, 125, and a little bit of 160. Then it's totally flat out to where the 850 kind of runs on the top end. So I start a bit at like 2.5K out to like 3.1, and well, nature of the radio is you got to really work hard to get the 4, but I'm happy with 3K on the top end. Lots of people don't even listen that high.
Oh, Roger, yeah, I think 3 is fine. I wouldn't want to go any higher than that, because then you start getting people road rage. So I'll take 3 and be happy with it. You know, it gives you enough to put some articulation in there, you know, and that's all you need, just so they can hear what you're saying. I mean, you know, I guess some folks could cut it off at 2 or 1, and everybody would say, "Oh, what's he talking about? What's he saying? I can hear him, but I don't understand him," you know. And so with a 3 or thereabouts, that gives you plenty of room for sibilance and articulation. Roger.
Absolutely correct. I'm curious, what antenna are you using?
I'm sorry, try again.
Yeah, what antenna are you using?
This is an inverted V. About the apex where it's fed from is about 35 feet. And we have developed a tuning technique. We don't use a ballon. We do use a choke. But the tuning range is, I don't know. Hang on just a minute. I have something going off here that... I don't know. Anyway, the tuning procedure is adjusting the SWR on the negative side and bring it back on frequency on the high side, back and forth, back and forth. And so I'm running 3 inverted V's that are running 1.01 to 1, Roger. Starting to lose you there. Yeah, we have 3 inverted V's and 1 kind of just a normal, or 2 normal dipoles. So we've got five antennas for HF pretty much, except we have 3 additional for 10 meters. I have a full wave loop, 36-foot full wave loop, 10 foot on the horizontal, 8 foot on the vertical, with a rotor. And I can orient it's a, like I said, it's a vertical loop, and I can rotate that for max smoke. And then I have a 5/8 vertical, and that's about like at 15 feet. And then I have a quarter wave up the tower about 35 feet. So I spent a couple of years on 10 meters, so I run those on a selector switch, and actually all the antennas on a selector switch, and I can run through the antennas, particularly like on the 10-meter antennas, and check 3 antennas in about a second, half a second, somewhere in there.
Yeah, when I had my old station, yeah, I would just select them at which antennas heard the best, probably the greatest probability of getting in. Yours is doing just fine. I'm running a weirdo, a double-length G5RV with the balance line coming all the way into the shack. I had to waste about 10 foot of balance line going up the tower and back down again and bringing it in. But it's cut for 1.8, but it's actually working pretty well, and the high point is about 45 feet, and the low point is about 4 feet up off the ground.
Roger that, roger that. Well, you know, some folks take that that antenna, and instead of running all that stuff underneath each other, they spread it out, and that way you can modify one band of the antenna and not have any effect whatsoever on the other bands. When they're underneath each other, you run into the possibility of doing a little work on one will make the other slightly different. But when you expand them around, and so they're running within themselves, you know, you're just working on that one antenna. Roger.
Hold on, I pulled the headphones, so I had to kick the monitor off. What you described, I have found absolutely correct. I've tried the multi-band dipoles, each resonator halfway, fed from a single feed point, and going in basically the same line as each other, but they always coupled, and it was a tuning nightmare. And I found if you just spread each of them a little way to the side, they actually tune individually.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and you know, then you have more flavor in your received signal too, you know, because it's not all east and west or north and south. However, you might have them oriented. You have different slices of life there. Well, it's past our time. Usually we run between 3:30 and 5 on our Qso-Vlog program. What's the name there?
Bob Baker, Ocean Baker, and yours?
Jim, Juliet, India, Mike.
Well, you were going to sign, I would say, at least 15, 20 minutes ago. I'm glad we got to jaw with each other. You got a fine sounding signal and good advice.
Roger, Bob. Well, you also, your audio is just perfection. I wish we had a little bit more signal strength to hear it, but I've got a little sideband, little adjacent channel QRM, but nothing to interfere with. Just kind of annoying. But anyway, so I'm sure he's getting more blow by than I am. So power to him. But I'm going to jump out of here, and if you get a chance, don't be a stranger. We do this Qso-Vlog every Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5 Eastern on this frequency, 7189. So if you get a chance, drop back in. You know, we'd love to have you. And like I said, we have been recording, so we will be posting this. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to the Qso-Vlog page, and on that page you'll find one session entitled My Group Air Check, date 11/23/18. My Group Air Check, 11/23/18, and you'll be towards the end of that, Roger.
Got you there, Jim. I might just check it out and see what I sound like. Anyway, it's been very pleasant, intriguing, talking to somebody that their elevator goes to the top. 73 from K0NT.
Roger, Roger, Bob. 3Z away, sir. Have a pleasant afternoon, what's left of it, and a good evening. We'll catch you later. And this is KC9VKV. We're wrapping up on our Qso-Vlog program for the date. This program, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, we'll have it posted within the next couple of days, and you'll look for a session called My Group Air Check. My Group Air Check, and dated 11/23/18, 11/23/18. 18. So 3's all. We'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV. We'll be clear.